Welcome to Alicia's Corner. Today I'm going to be preparing my famous vegan waffles. I've gotten a lot of people ask me how in the world do I make my waffles because in their eyes it is really good. So today I'm going to show you. So I have 2 cups of wheat flour, a 1/4 cup of spelt flour. Now spelt flour is an Asian grain. It's similar to wheat, but it's easier to digest, and it's an alternative to white flour. I try not to use white products, okay? And although it's not gluten-free, it is easier to digest than wheat flour. It has a sweet nutty flavor, so it doesn't change the taste of your whatever you're trying to make. It doesn't change that taste. Okay, then we have 3 cups of sugar. Now I don't use white granulated, so this is like turbinado. I don't know if you can see this. It's like turbinado. You can use brown. I've used brown sugar, turbinado. I've used raw sugar. I just don't use white sugar, but you can use whatever you want. You have a tablespoon of baking powder. That's going to help it to rise. Now, I don't want to assume that everybody knows what I'm talking about. So this is a tablespoon and this is a teaspoon. I'm not trying to make anybody feel any kind of way. Not saying you don't know what you're doing, but some people just don't know. I just wanted to show you. You have a teaspoon of cinnamon and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now I'm using the pink Himalayan. You can use whatever salt you want, but I just choose to use the pink Himalayan. Okay, let's get that all in there. And then what I like to do, I like to whisk it. Just whisk it a little bit, mix it in there. Because sometimes when the baking powder sits or it gets any type of moisture, it clumps up and then it tastes, you bite into a cookie or a piece of cake and it tastes like acidic or it's just a funny, strange taste. So this kind of breaks it up a little bit. Okay. And now we have 2 tablespoons of applesauce. I go to Aldi, so I buy the unsweetened organic applesauce. Now, I don't use egg because this is vegan waffles. So I use a lot of egg. I use a lot of applesauce as a substitute in my recipes. And I never really have a problem. Now, there is a just egg. There is an egg substitute. Like if I'm making cakes for a customer, and they don't, and 9 times out of 10, unless they say otherwise, I use just egg because it's just like an egg, but it's a vegan product. This is a 1/2 cup of olive oil. You can use whatever oil you want, but I just use olive oil. You can use coconut oil. I just choose not to use some of those other oils like corn oil, vegetable oil, canola. And this is 2 cups of soy milk. Now, you can also use almond milk, coconut milk. You can even use regular milk, but like I said, this is vegan, so we don't use any animal products. But for me, so far I've used, this recipe, I've used almond milk, coconut milk, and soy milk. You can even use oat milk if you want. That's a good alternative to the cow's milk. So I'm just mixing it up. And I like to get the lumps because, sometimes it's lumps. So I just like to smash it in, you know. Even when you're using a mix, sometimes there's lumps in it, so it's not a problem. I just like to flatten it out, you know, if I can. So that's what I'm doing, just making sure it's, you know. So what I'm gonna do, my batter has a good consistency, but what I wanna do, I think I'm gonna add a little water. Just a little bit. Because I wanna get 5 waffles. So I wanted to thin it out just a little bit. You know what? I didn't even have to do that because you know why? I forgot one of the most important ingredients. My vanilla extract. Okay. I still might have needed just a little bit of water just in case, but this is going to do the trick. This is going to make it perfect. Okay. Now, while I am waiting for, I'm going to plug up the griddle. Oh, I did wash my hands, so don't worry about that. So, while I'm waiting for that to happen, the griddle, I want to talk to you about, I want to introduce you to my products. During the pandemic, I went to shop for vanilla extract, and the prices were so high that I said I'm going to make it myself. So I have my Alicia's Corner, and this is my baby rum. This is Madagascar, which is the best vanilla bean with baby rum. Okay. So if you want a different flavor, an exotic flavor, if you want to like really spruce up your cakes, cookies, pies, or whatever you're doing, this is a good choice. Now this is my Alicia's Corner bourbon essence. All right, this has bourbon, and this too will also like really jumpstart your recipe, whatever it is you're trying to make. It'll give it a different flavor. So this is a good alternative. It'll be a little bit more subtle than the spicy rum. Spicy rum is for those who are like daredevils, people that really want to do something different, really make their dish taste, you know, go to that next level, and you're not afraid. But if you want to keep it simple, we have Alicia's Corner, the vanilla extract called Vanilla Bliss. Now this is specifically for vegans. It has vegan vodka. Didn't even know it was a thing. I didn't even know vodka could be vegan. I didn't know what was in it that would make it not vegan, but apparently since they sell vegan vodka, it is. So this is their traditional vanilla extract. Okay, it's still going to make all your goods taste superb. You can't go wrong with the standard vanilla extract, but if you just want a different flavor, that's where these two come in at. Okay, and if you want a bottle, I'll leave the information in the description and show you, so you'll know how to order. Let's see if this griddle is ready. Okay, I'm just using just regular cooking spray. Doesn't matter which one you use, but I find that when you use a cooking spray that has coconut in it, it has a drier texture, and it's not from my experience, when I try to take it out the pan, like when I'm doing pancakes, or it's not moist. It's like it's removing the moisture out of your food. It makes it dry. So I don't really like using cooking spray that's coconut. Even though I'm a fan of coconut, coconut is very healthy, but I just choose to use a different oil. Normally I use olive oil, but this just so happened to be vegetable oil. It was probably a sale or something. I normally don't use vegetable oil. Let me tell you something about vanilla. Some people don't know this, but not only will vanilla extract, pure vanilla extract, not that imitation flavor stuff, pure vanilla extract not only will make your baked goods and your drinks and your desserts taste amazing with the flavor, but vanilla is also good for anxiety because it calms you. So vanilla actually has a health benefit. It will calm you, especially if you have anxiety. It has a calming effect. So that's a good thing about vanilla. All right, so let's go ahead, and I like using the measuring cup to scoop it out. I mean, why make anything else dirty if you don't have to? I mean, I've already used it, right? So I'm going to scoop out a cup, and I'm going to put it in this is in my kitchen, so we don't have all these special effects and lighting like some. Not yet, not yet. But I'm a one-woman show over here, so let me just go ahead and flip that around. This griddle, let me move this bowl so you can see. I don't know if you can see, but this waffle iron, this is the kind like you have in the hotel. This is one of my best investments when it comes to making waffles, because this thing right here is just like when you go to a hotel at Hilton and some of those places and you're making waffles. This is the real deal. This right here, I mean, it takes your waffles to a whole nother level. I felt, when I first started using it, I felt like I was at the hotel again, because that's how good it made my waffles look and taste. All right. So let's get this plate right here. When I do my waffles, I like to actually take this spatula and I like to spread my butter. Now this is Mayoko's butter. It's a oat milk butter, which is good. Tastes good. I mean, I use whatever plant-based butter. But a lot of times I also make my own butter. So it all depends on how I feel. Sometimes I will make my own butter, but I just get this batter out the way. So the waffle should be coming out soon. I know some people ask, why do you use the spelt flour? And what made you start using the spelt flour? Well, I didn't want to use white flour, and I didn't know about spelt flour. So I read up on it, and I made some bread. And the bread was, in my opinion, it was really good, but it was thick. So spelt is not as thin as wheat flour, but it's easier to digest than wheat flour for those people that have issues with wheat. So I said, I wonder what it would taste like if I used it in my pancakes. So I started experimenting, and I said, I'm not going to use all spelt. I'm going to use mostly wheat, and I'm going to use a little bit of spelt. And I just started, playing with the measurements, like how much wheat versus how much spelt. And I really believe I liked it better. I like the spelt flour with the wheat better than I like the white flour. Because like I said, I'm kind of against white products, white sugar, white salt, white flour, because it's a lot of time it's bleached and it's how it's processed, and I just didn't want that, you know, in my body. So this waffle should be done soon. You don't want to flip it too soon. You want to wait till this. I want to wait till this light turn green, because then I know it's okay, and I can turn it around and take it out and show you this lovely waffle. Yeah, so that's why I use spelt flour. It's just a good alternative. And like I said, it is an ancient grain. It has a nut sweetie taste. And I actually use it for a lot of stuff. I use it for my pancakes. I use it for my waffles. What else do I use the spelt flour in? I don't think I've used it in a cake. I've used it in bread. I think so far that's about it. Now my butters I had it sitting out, so it's gonna be soft, which is gonna be perfect when I spread it on this hot waffle. So let's see. Okay, almost. I think you're gonna like what you see, because it's almost done and it looked perfect. Now let's talk about which flavor should you buy. Now, whichever flavor you buy with my vanilla extract, you're going to know that you're going to get 100% quality, because I use Madagascar vanilla beans. Madagascar is one of the best vanilla beans that you can buy, okay? And so I do not skimp on my vanilla beans. And it all just depends on what you make, because I've had people buy the spicy rum and say, hey, they made pancakes and it made their pancakes taste good. So it just all depends on what you're trying to make to determine which one you should use. But I don't really think you go wrong with any of them, any ones that you choose. Okay. So I want to show you this. Before I put the butter on, I want to show you how beautiful. Look how beautiful that waffle is. Look how beautiful that is. That looks good. Okay. I'm just going to, I like this spatula, with silicone spatula. That's how I like to spread my butter on my pancakes and my waffles. Look how beautiful that waffle is. And you could sprinkle powdered sugar on it if you want to be fancy. You put fruit on it. You could do whatever you want. Now, I'm just going to have regular syrup on mine. But I have in the past made a fruit compost, and that tastes good as well. But it's your waffle. You do whatever you want to do with it, okay? So listen, I thank you for joining me today. Please follow me on all my social medias. Keep up with what I'm doing here at Alicia's Corner. And remember, I am here making you smile. I'm making the world smile, one recipe at a time. Until next time.